Consumer Price Index increased by 3.3% in November 2021. On average, inflation in Malaysia was at a rate of 1.6% for the period from 2011 to 2021. Throughout the period, inflation experienced varying changes, with the highest increase recorded in April 2017, 4.9%. For 2021, the monthly inflation rate is higher than the long-term inflation average as a result of the increase in prices of various goods since March, 1.7%, and jumped to 4.7% the following month. Datuk Seri Dr. Mohamad Uzair Mahidin, Malaysia Chief Statistician, said the 3.3% increase in November 2021 was influenced by the increase in various goods, especially for food and non-alcoholic beverage, transport and housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels. The most significant increase was due to the high price of raw materials for cooking, increased by 16.7% due to the effect of the price of livestock feed mainly from imported sources. As we can see, the occurrence of an increase in the average inflation in 2015 and began to decrease in 2016. In April 2017, an increase in the average inflation of 4.9%. In 2022, we can see a decrease in average inflation due to the pandemic that hit our country, where the average inflation is below the level of 1.6%. However, it has a big impact in the following year, when the average inflation continues to increase in April 2021 by 4.7%. In August 2021, it started to decrease by as much as 2.0%, but soon the average inflation increased by 3.3% in November 2021.
Good morning. The 3.3% incline in November 2021 was influenced by the increase in various items, especially for the food and non-alcoholic beverage. Based on the graph next to me, it showed that food and non-alcoholic beverage, which are attributed 29.5% to household spending, showed a significant increase by 3.3% in November 2021, with both price index of food at home and food away from home recorded increases of 3.6% and 1.7% respectively. The increase of food and non-alcoholic beverage group price index was due to higher price of raw materials for the preparation of cooking at home, such as meat 9.2%, followed by oils and fats 6.4%, milk, cheese and eggs 4.4%, and fish and seafood 3.6%. Chicken was consumed by 86.8% of B14 households, increases 51% in November 2021. A majority of B14 households, 94.7%, consume fresh fish, and the index also increased 4.2% in November 2021.
Hi, my name is Mohamad Akmal bin Hashim. My matrix number is D202211032227. My topic for today is selected food inflation for home income from RM3000 from January 2020 until November 2021. Based on the graph, it shows that the pattern of continuous improvement of chicken feed, beef, oil and fat, milk, cheese and eggs, fish and seafood. Food inflation for chicken was the highest at the 19.7% in the year ended November 2021. As for vegetables, the pattern of inflation is decreased and ended at 3.1%. It is the lowest percentage of inflation compared to other foods. March 2020, Movement Control Orders, or we call it as PKP, when COVID-19 became the starting point for food inflation took effect. Among the factors of this case, prevailing is the purchase of anxiety. Due to demand exceeding supply, the seller will increase the price according to the limit of the stock of goods, especially foodstuff. The withdrawal of KWSP money caused the purchasing power to increase. High household spending contribute to food inflation. Compared to other foods, vegetables are subordinate items. When the government channels aid to the people, they choose to buy food according to their taste. This leads to oversupply and subsequently a decrease in inflation for this food.
Next, I will explain inflation rate by state in November 2021. From this chart, what do you see? We can saw that Malaysia recorded an inflation rate of 3.3%. In Malaysia, Terengganu inflation rate is 4.3%. The inflation rate for the state of Pahang is 4.1%. The states of Kelantan and Perak have jointly reached an inflation rate of 4.0%. Inflation rate of 3.7% has been shown in the state of Selangor, Wilayah Persekutuan Putrajaya, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Kedah, and Perlis. The state of Johor has recorded an inflation rate of 3.5%. Sarawak is 2.7%. Sabah, Wilayah Persekutuan Labuan, Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur is 2.4%. The higher inflation rate was recorded by Terengganu, 4.3%, while Sabah, Wilayah Persekutuan Labuan, Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur is 2.4%, were the three states with the lowest in inflation rate. The inflation rate in Terengganu was mainly contributed by transport and food and non-alcoholic beverages, which increased by 17.4% and 3% respectively. In terms of consumption, these two groups contribute 51% to Terengganu expenditure. Inflation rate in Sarawak and Sabah, Wilayah Persekutuan Labuan increases by 2.7% and 2.4% respectively, which was partly due to a marginal increase in electricity charge as a result of the extension of electricity discount until December 2021, as well as a moderate increase in the price of food, non-alcoholic beverages. Meanwhile, the inflation rate of Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur was mostly influenced by the price of food away the home, which was preferred by the households. The price of food away from home increased modestly by 1.6% as compared to the price of food at home 2.5%. Furthermore, households in Wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur has various options for public transport as an alternative to private transport. Overall, all states show increase and 9 states surpass the national inflation rate of 3.3%.
For Malaysia, audited consumer price index consists of the general index and the core index. The consumer price index calculates the percentage change over time in the cost of purchasing a fixed basket of goods and services that represent the average pattern of purchases made by a specific population growth over a given time period. The basket consists of an unchanging or equivalent quantity and quality of goods and services, as well as items with consistently measurable market price over time. Changes in the price of items in the basket are thus caused solely by pure price movements. Price movements are related to changes in the quantity or quality of the sets of consumer goods and services in the market. This basket covers a wide range of goods and services classified according to the United Nations classification of individual consumption according to purpose COICOP in the following 12 groups. Firstly, food and non-alcoholic beverage, alcoholic beverage and tobacco, clothing and footwear, housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels, furnishing, household equipment and routine, household maintenance, health, transport, communication, recreation service and culture, education, restaurant and hotel, and lastly, miscellaneous goods and service. The Consumer Price Index for each region measures the price change within the region from one time period to the next. As a result, while regional CPI shows price movements over time in each region, they do not show price level differences between regions. Malaysia Index is a composite index that is weighted by regional expenditure weight, computed separately for Peninsula Malaysia, Sabah, and Sarawak. Many factors have contributed to the world high rate of inflation. Many countries are experiencing high inflation, with some approaching 10%. Higher interest rates are the primary tool for combating inflation, but they take time to take effect. Inflation is on the increase around the world, with food and energy prices hitting record highs. The rise has been driven in large part by pent-up consumer demand after the pandemic and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. As the chart shown, Malaysia recorded a lower inflation rate with 3.3% than some selected countries, namely the Eurozone with 4.9% of inflation, United States of America with 6.8%, Philippines with 4.2%, Thailand with 5.6%, and Republic of Korea with 3.7% on January 2020 till November 2021. And that's all for today news. Thank you for watching.